Hello, this is John News Prime. Coming up in this 1 hour package, consultant psychiatrist calls for support for woman accused of killing her 2 children as he believes the suspect is mentally unstable.
So, obviously showed signs of mental illness even before this happened.
Also, police in Savannah region to arraign prime suspect in the murder of the 90-year-old woman accused of witchcraft. Her arrest brings to 7 the number of persons apprehended.
So who the one who said?
Later here on John News Prime, no government in recent history has cared for the Zongos more than ours. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia touts the NPP's achievement as he joins the National Chief Imam to mark a virtual Eid.
Poor and deprived in Ghana have for far too long been fodder for flowery and sugar-coated speeches by politicians, especially at election time.
And coming up in business.
Mining firm Golden Star Resources rules out staff layoff despite sale of Bogoso and Christian mines.
Contract is important that people have, and the word is severance. Now, if I decide tomorrow I don't like working at Golden Star anymore, I'm going to go, no one's going to pay me any severance.
My name is Ernest Menu. We're live from our studios here at Kukumlimli Accra on your digital terrestrial television because we are free to air. On your DSTV, it's channel 421 and GoTV 144. Stay with us for details. To our first story now, and doctors are suspecting the mother who took the lives of her 2 children may be suffering from mental illness. Abigail Dubai was almost lynched after she confessed to killing her 2 children with rat poison. Now, the children, 2 and 1-year-old, died in their sleep after the concoction had been administered to them on Wednesday evening. The 28-year-old is said to have told the police she could not cater for the children because their father was not providing their needs. But the consultant psychiatrist, Dr. Dodoye, has cause to believe the suspect is mentally unstable. There's more in the following report.
Residents gathered around the lifeless bodies of 2 children, watching with disbelief how a mother could possibly kill her children. In another video, the mother, Abigail Adubia, is heard justifying her actions. Police in Tema went in to arrest Abigail. Crowd had gathered, hooting at her as the police escorted her out. The lifeless bodies of the children were carried away in bags. Prime Officer ACP Paul Ponto joined news for the initial investigations established.
Some of our officers went to the scene and noticed that there were 2 children on the bed who were cold when to the touch. And they also realized that they were foaming from the mouth. So they asked of the mother, we got to know of the mother, and the mother said the children had fallen sick the previous week and had taken them to hospital, and that the medicines that the hospital gave them, that was what he was giving to them. And the night prior to the incident, they had given them some of the medicine. But when they woke up, he realized that the children were still sleeping and they were cold. So he had to go and tell the mother. And the mother asked 2 of the children, elder children, to come and see what was happening. So when they got there, they also realized that the children were dead. So that was what he was telling us. But when we saw that they were foaming from the mouth, we had suspicion that probably they might have taken some poisonous substance. So all the substances that we suspected to be medicine or whatever it is were taken by the police for further investigation.
But what will make a mother take the lives of her own children? Consultant psychiatrist Dr. Eugene Dodoye says Abigail could be suffering from a mental illness.
This case, this woman obviously does not show any remorse of her actions, and she may not even think that it is wrong for what she did, because just like in the case of Charles Entry, he actually said that going to prison is going to delay him from becoming a president. Now he's going to spend some time in prison before, when he comes out, he becomes the president. So this was an obvious impairment in judgment. So looking at this woman, and I think I have read somewhere that she had made mention that she will kill the children, days before this happened. So she obviously showed signs of mental illness even before this happened.
Bodies of the deceased have been deposited at the morgue.
Now, from Tema, let me take you to Kafaba. The Savannah Regional Police Command has arrested one more suspect who allegedly played a role in the lynching of a 90-year-old woman at Kafaba. The 32-year-old Latifa Bamaye was smoked from her hideout at Kejegu Botor, a suburb of the East Gonja municipality, following continuous surveillance by the homicide unit of the Ghana Police Service. The suspect is said to be one of 3 ladies seen in the video torturing Ekuya Dente. Now, she has been escorted to Damango, and we've been speaking to her.
I was unable to walk and was in so much pain. My neck became stiff. I started crying. Then a tall man came around and held me tight. He blew a substance onto my face, and I suddenly fell into a trance. I was then dragged to the old woman's house. I don't remember beating the old woman. The last thing I remember was that I was in a cloth. But when I gained consciousness, I was in clothes. I asked my mom if I was the one beating the woman. I just could not believe it. I started crying when my mom told me that was indeed me, because I had no idea I was doing this.
So who the one who said?
This is Serena Fatima, the priestess who used a whip on 90-year-old Ekuya Dente. Her arrest brings the number of suspects in police custody to 6, with the exclusion of Kafaba chief Zakaria Yahaya, who is now on bail. According to reports, the lynching of the old woman was part of ramifications of the burning of the NPP pavilion in the community 2 weeks ago. The NPP youth in the area then informed the chief, Zakaria Yahaya, of their intention to bring a priestess to the community to help identify the hoodlums responsible for the arson. The chief, however, objected, according to sources. Nonetheless, the youth brought the priestess, Serena Fatima, to the community. During her spiritual exercise, many residents, including late Ekuya Dente, arrived at the scene to observe her. Dente was then identified, not as a conspirator in the arson, but a witch. The deceased was then force-fed some concoctions and later lynched before she was carried home, where she passed away.
Now, the Savannah Regional Police Commander, DCOP Enoch Educhum Bediakon, told Joy News the suspect will be arraigned on Monday.
She is claiming she was being possessed by forces. So whatever she did, she cannot recognize or remember. So that is her defense. But that defense can only be tendered in the court. So you follow procedures, and when she gets to the court, she can put that one as a defense.
I know you have been on them for some time now. How did you manage to locate her?
Yeah, we got her through an informant who also said she got the information through the radio and the TV. So upon realizing that the lady is within that catchment area, she called police and informers. So yesterday night, we asked our men to use motorbikes to go to the village, a very far distance. And thank God, she was seen over there and arrested and brought to the station.
So this person who have given this information like this, will she be given the ransom?
Yes.
A ransom of 20,000.
Pardon?
The 20,000 cities.
Yes, please. That one is assured. That one, tomorrow, we just have to take her particulars and send her mobile money. We don't want the person to even come to the police station at all.
Let's do some politics now, and with the Zongo Development Fund and the Inner City and Zongo Ministry of Ready Yield on Human and Infrastructural Development in Zongo communities, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has stated that the Akufo-Addo administration has by far cared for the interest of deprived communities than any other government in recent history. Speaking at a virtual Eid prayer at the forecourt of the GBC House Friday morning, Dr. Bawumia outlined the many interventions the administration has implemented to impact the lives of people in the inner cities. He also promised the administration, if given a second term, will do more, including the building of 16 model SHS in the Zongos to further develop the human capital in those areas.
We've seen a lot of deprivation of Zongo communities where governments over the years have not paid much attention to their development needs. Education is a major area for exclusion, because if you do not get education, you are going to be likely excluded from many aspects of the society. So our ability to afford school fees, access to scholarships, and so on was also identified. The poor and deprived in Ghana have for far too long been fodder for flowery and sugar-coated speeches by politicians, especially at election time. For Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, what matters is not what you say you are going to do for the poor and the deprived, but what you actually have done when you've had the opportunity to serve. The question we should ask all politicians is, what did you do to alleviate the suffering and the promotion of inclusion when you were in office? On the matter of inclusion, President Akufo-Addo has walked the talk. To further expand educational opportunity to the poor and less privileged, the government has digitized and decentralized the process of awarding scholarships, and the number of people awarded government scholarships has increased by 70% under our government. And furthermore, we have provided access to the poor and the less privileged by restoring nursing and teacher training allowances. Through the Scholarship Secretariat and the Zongo Development Fund, 40 brilliant but less privileged students drawn from the Zongos and inner cities are currently in Cuba on government scholarship studying medicine. The government is more determined and committed to uplifting education in Zongo communities. And as a result, the president has decided that, inshallah, in his next term of office, through the Zongo Development Fund and the Ministry for Education, we will build 16 model senior secondary schools in Zongo communities in each of the 16 regions in Ghana.
Spokesperson for the Chief Imam, Sheikh Arime El Shaibu, said the leader of the Muslim community wants to see an end to to violence at the voter registration centers.
Election is fast approaching, and we can see the signs. Even now, we are doing simple voter registration exercise, and we have seen incidents of some violence. And we say this is a signal that if we don't manage ourselves well, we could go down the bad road of violence. And so Chief Imam is adding his voice, particularly to the Muslim youth, never to allow themselves to be used by any politician as a tool for violence against political opponent, against any political opponent. Muslim youth must understand that our religion stands for peace and security, and we are agents of peace.
You're watching News Prime with me, and Asmini. We're taking a short break. When we return, we'll tell you what a marketing professor has been telling the governing New Patriotic Party. He is warning them not to underestimate the running mate of the NDC, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. Thanks for staying with us here on Joy News Prime. Now, the head of marketing, professor at the marketing department of the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Robert Ebo-Hinson, has cautioned the governing NPP not to take newly elected NDC running mate, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, for granted. Speaking in a yet-to-be-aired interview on PM Express, does the Personality Profile edition this evening at 9 p.m., Professor Hinson described the NPP's position of seeing the 2020 elections as a contest only between the NDC candidate Mahama and President Akufo-Addo as problematic, adding that the ideal thing to do is to think of how to put all the elements together into a winning ticket.
So I think December 2020 will be a fantastic contest, fantastic, because I did an article 2 weeks ago in The Conversation, you can Google it, where I was arguing that the Jenana dimension will matter because she is just not a token addition. You are here because you're a woman. No, no, no. She has sterling qualities, but the critical issue will be how these are translated into appealing brand, because just being a university vice chancellor is not enough. We need to create traction between you as a brand and the electorate you want to vote for you. So if NDC can do that, then it will be a close contest. I heard an NDC deputy minister this morning on TV say that, who cares about Nana? We are not looking at Nana. We are not looking at Nana. The fight is between Nanado and JM. Who is Nana? I'm going to tell my friends, we are not looking at Nana. I said, you'll be there and say, we are not looking at Nana. So for him, he said the fight is between JM and Nana. They've all been in power before, so we are going to fight. I think, with all due respect, that is a problematic stance to take. Because politics is not only about the person standing in front. There's a party machinery, there's a running mate. So if you're an astute marketing planner, I think what you should be looking at is how to put all the elements together into a winning ticket. That's how you win the election.
And the full interview airs later tonight at 9 p.m. here on the Joy News channel. Do make a date. Now, persons below 18 years will no longer be allowed to ride tricycles in the Asokore Mampong municipality of the Ashanti region. The measure is part of new bylaws by the local assembly to regulate operations of the passenger rickshaws known locally as Pragya. Municipal Chief Executive Ali Dusedu told an assembly meeting volunteers will be deployed to ensure riders comply with traffic regulations. Ohim Interior reports.
Asokore Mampong Municipal accounts for about 90% of commercial tricycles in Greater Kumasi. Though statistics are not readily available, authorities say they are alarmed by increasing rate of road crashes involving Pragya. Alhaji Seidu tells Joy News the new bylaws also limits the number of passengers to 2 instead of 3 as pertains presently.
If you are not up to 18 years of age, you cannot ride. 2, you should not take more than 2 people, 2 passengers. You lose the privilege of riding Pragya if you take someone on the shoulder of the rider. You should follow traffic protocol. You should not be seen to be overtaken. You also said that whoever is riding Pragya, you should appear with substance. You shouldn't just be in any form of address to just be there. On this matter, we made it a categorical statement in the bylaws. So these are some of the things. If you are found culpable, it will be dealt with. I wouldn't be on the street to stop them. I wouldn't be on the street to arrest. But then the law enforcement agencies will be on the street.
The Road Traffic Act prohibits commercialization of motor and tricycles, but the MCE dismisses suggestions the Assembly's action condones illegality.
We are not legalizing illegality. It has come to stay. I mean, look at the numbers. If you have about 10,000 Pragya in Ashanti region, and for that matter, Kumasi, then you can get 9,000 of it is within Asukari Mampong. Whether you like it or not, they are on the street. But once you recognize that the same people we are serving are the same people patronizing their services, if that happens, what you need to do is that you regulate their activity, at least until a policy statement is brought from the Ministry of Transport, banning them. Assembly, and for that matter, Asukari cannot just sit in Asukari and issue our word that we are banning you. I mean, it will come with a consequence. But when the Transport Ministry comes out with something like that, telling us that no, you can't operate, then you also do it within our context.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohimi Interior reporting.
Now, Ghanaian Muslim leaders have charged young people in the Islamic faith to shun violence as the country prepares for the 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections in December. One of the leaders is the Imam for Fadama, Sheikh Ridwan Mokhtaru Abbas, who has been addressing Muslim youth during the presentation of some items to them on the occasion of Eid al-Adha today. Nancy Emefadradosi has more in this report.
One by one, they enter the central mosque dressed in their best clothes, and this time with face masks on. It's the new normal for these young Muslims as they observe COVID-19 protocols before entering the mosque for prayers. Almost 2 meters apart, these Muslims knelt on their mats, praying to Allah.
In our prayers, it is instructed that we should get closer to each other. Your shoulder should touch your shoulder of your brother. But in this situation, you have to ensure there's 2 meters between you and your brother.
Imam of Fadama called on the youth to eschew violence ahead of the 2020 elections.
This is always where we have problems with our younger ones. The politicians, they only remember you, the youth, when it's election time. After the election, that is all. You have just become like a hoe. They used you to weed. After weeding, when it's time for harvesting, they just put the hoe aside. We don't want to be like that. We should let them know. And then before you be able to let them know you know your right, you should be well educated. So if you are well educated, nobody will even approach you to come and go and do anything bad for him. So whenever any politician approach you to come and do some violent or act violently, tell him to go and bring his children fed to lead the exercise. This is my advice.
Unilever Ghana donated items including Unilever bar soap, thermometer guns and face masks to members of the community to help combat the virus.
We are grateful to the company and the chief who has Sunlight, the company Sunlight, who has given out this, and then the chief Ni Obusokai, who also, I think, initiated it. We are so much grateful. They have given us, after all they have provided, after the prayers, there are some gifts they give out, soaps to send home. We are so much grateful.
Despite all the challenges the virus brought, there was also something to dance about.
And And I have more other stories for you. Thousands of worshippers of the Orthodox Muslim faith in the Upper West region defied heavy downpour to take part in this year's Eid al-Adha celebration. The clouds had formed before the start of the 2-rakat prayer, and in the middle of the prayer, it started raining, but it didn't stop them from offering their duplication to Allah. Joy News correspondent in the Upper West region, Rafiq Salam, reports that though the number that took part in the exercise was huge, they were wet, and the health service had to partake in this as well.
The Colonel Kutua Champan Park, now rechristened the Nas Digibomi the second park, since the days of yore, serves as the venue of the open congregational Eid al-Adha prayer for worshippers of the Orthodox Muslims.
Hello everyone, welcome to the holiday edition of Prime Business with Ms. Sandra S. Mining firm Golden Star Resources has ruled out layoff when new owners Future Global Resources Limited begin operations on the Bogoso and Prestia mines. Earlier this month, Future Global Resources Limited reached a deal with Golden Star Resources to acquire the 2 mines for $95 million. There are, however, concerns that most workers will lose their jobs when the new owners take over from September. But speaking to Joy Business from London, the Group Chief Executive of Golden Star Resources, Andrew Wary, says this is not on the table.
The problem for the new owner, if they do that, is then they just don't have the people to comply with the plan. So, you know, as I said the other day, the word guarantee is quite a strong word, but I think you know what I mean in the sense that, you know, we have contracts, and I think that's your guarantee that anybody will respect your contract. But I think beyond that here, as I said, we've got someone that really, if they don't execute on the plan, and we've got a very clear plan, and they don't have the people to do that, then they're not going to be successful. And they know that. So they don't have any intentions to come and start cutting people. It would make no business sense for them to do that. They can't grow that asset. And if they bring, you know, they're going to have a look at the old refractory material that's there, that's a resource, it's not being mined currently, and do some study work, particularly with the price of gold where it is. If they decide that they want to take that forward, well, they need more people, not less, because there is no one doing that work currently. So, you know, I think there's potential. They've got to do the work, they've got to study, they've got to make the decision. But, you know, that's really, they want to build a business. And I think if you're working at Bogoso Prestea, that's the important thing. You've got somebody here that understands mining. They want to build a business. They need mining skills.
Government has approved a stimulus package for the aviation sector. This is expected to come in form of support for workers and financial release for firms operating in the sector. Speaking to Joy Business at the handing over ceremony for the Director General of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, Sector Minister Joseph Kofi Adam said the passage of the Accident Investigation and Prevention Bureau Bill will pave way for the establishment of a dedicated bureau mandated to investigate all aviation incidents and accidents in the country. My colleague Bismarck Awusa has more.
The Accident Investigation and Prevention Bureau Bill, according to the Aviation Ministry, seeks to turn what is currently an office that resides in the Aviation Ministry into an autonomous accident investigative body that is well-resourced to carry out its mandates, devoid of undue influence by the industry regulator, the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, and the sector ministry. Joseph Kofi Ada is the Minister for Aviation.
It is the President now that will have to accept the bill into law. Once that is done, we engage, go through executive search, engage those who manage the bureau, get it all set up. Now we've got an office space. We're going through the procurement process of equipping the office of all the things they need to work with.
Mr. Ada also revealed a stimulus package which is expected to prevent job losses and provide financial reliefs for firms operating in this sector has been approved by government.
The Minister of Finance has approved a facility with the Consolidated Bank of Ghana, to which the agency would have to liaise to get the support they need to be able to maintain their staff. The main thing is simply on the compensation scheme to keep the staff so that there's no layoff, there's no dismissal. That's the main thrust of it. Yeah. It's left with the agency to negotiate with them.
The handing over ceremony saw Charles Kweku take over from Simon Alote as Director General of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. The new GCAA boss has been challenged to take the authority a notch higher. Bismarck Awusa's report for Joy Business.
This is something exciting because 31-year-old senior high school teacher Godwin in Swansea won 20,000 cedis in last week's star 787 hash jackpot, the Witchcraft lottery. Watch this.
Private senior high school tutor was the 30th person to win this unique prize from the lottery company since it was introduced. Speaking with Joy Business, Godwin shared his excitement.
I promised buying 30 tickets. So let me buy my 30 tickets with 7. Unfortunately, I spent 5 cedis out of the amount, so it was less only 6 tickets amount. So I said, let me just buy the 6 tickets out. So I bought the 6 tickets, and I was generated. The codes were given to me. That was on Friday morning. So when that happened, I was now waiting for the D-Day to come, which was Saturday, because when I watched the last week Wednesday, I saw the jackpot was 218,500 cedis. I said, wow, this is really something. If you get this, it can take a lot far. So I said, I must get this thing. Even if I won't get my 218,000, I should get a unique prize, which is also something that can give you a stepping stone.
Richard Akoto Bamfo, head of customer experience at the presentation of the cash prize, says star 78 star hash has the winning jackpot of 310,500 cedis to a lucky winner this Saturday. He therefore urged all Ghanaians to take part in this history-making jackpot.
So you could win 310,500 Ghana cedis this Saturday. It stands as the biggest record ever in Ghana in the history of jackpot draw. So take your chances now. As we are enriching lives, you won't be the 208,500 winner, but you could be the 310,500 Ghana cedis winner. So dial star 78.
Congratulations to Godwin. Now, crude oil traded for $43.28 after losing some 34 cents. This is how the markets performed on the last trading day of the week. It's all in the commodity news. For business, I am Sandra S. and I'm going to log on to myjoyonline.com/business for more business news. Update. Happy holidays and stay home, stay safe, and stay beautiful.
Thank you for joining us on The Sport. I'm Gary Al Smith, and tomorrow it's the FA Cup final, the last major competition of the English calendar as long as it's been, and it's Arsenal versus Chelsea. Just quickly, we'll go through the top 15 FA Cup winners as we refer to how they've done. So Arsenal have won 13 times. Man United have 12, Chelsea have 8, Tottenham Hotspur have 8, Liverpool have 7 as well. And then we have Aston Villa on 7, Man City on 6, Newcastle on 6, Blackburn on 6, and Everton on 5. Some of them have not won in aeons, right? So many years. But tomorrow's game will be interesting to watch indeed in a competition that started in 1872. West Brom, Wanderers, Wolves, Bolton, and Sheffield United with 5-5, 4-4, and 4 respectively. So now, apart from the FA Cup that begins at 4:30 tomorrow, that will be the kickoff, Joy Sports will be giving you some action online. So it is a meeting between Heart of Oak and Asante Kotoko. That is what we'll be doing for you tomorrow, and it's in the video game contest Asante Kotoko will be represented by their goalkeeper, Danlad Ibrahim. And we'll have Hearts of Oak who will be represented by Richard Atta. So, if we can see the promo materials now, we call it the Joy Sports Face-Off. So, Richard Atta will be representing Accra Hearts of Oak in our FIFA game. They will be here in our studios, but you can watch it virtually on Twitter. And the way you can watch it is through our Twitter handle. It will be streaming live there on our Facebook page as well, and also on Joy FM YouTube. So Richard Atta, who you saw there, is the first choice goalkeeper of Accra Hearts of Oak, and he will be representing the club. Danlad Ibrahim of Asante Kotoko will also be representing his club. There he is in the Joy Sports FIFA 20 face-off. So what happens is that you can join by watching, and if you are very good at FIFA, you can coach them live on air. So this is the matchup. It's Accra Hearts of Oak versus Asante Kotoko, but in a virtual edition, between the two players. It begins at 1:30 p.m. Please refer to our Twitter handles and our social media handles, which are coming up shortly for more information. Yep, on Twitter at Joy Sports GH, Facebook Joy Sports, Instagram Joy Sports GH as well. You have yourselves a happy holiday and enjoy the rest of the weekend. I'm Gary L. Smith. Bye-bye.
And there's now time for the latest in the world of showbiz, and Hajia Mariama Becky.
Yes, right here. Good to see you, Ernest.
Yeah, good to have you here.
Yes, but what's happening in the world of entertainment is Shatta.
It's all about Shatta and Beyonce.
You know, so Ed Lloyd, he was part of that. And as comments have been coming in, people have been congratulating Shatta Wale. Amongst them is
brilliant, and I'm really proud of
yeah, Sarkodie, Manifest, Stoneboy, Kwao Kese, Fuso DG, name them, all the industry players. This is huge for Ghana, and we are so excited. But Ernest, would you want to understand really what the Black is King visual album is
Absolutely,
about?
I would want to know, because at some point you see some visual concept as though it's a movie, and then the whole idea is not so clear to me. Okay. I know I don't follow entertainment, but I guess I'm not alone.
Yeah, so Beyonce has been explaining what exactly the album is about. We do love it.
Love it.
We do love it.
Congrats to Shatta and everyone once again.
Yeah.
Putting Ghana on the map there.
Exactly. Have you registered for your...
Yes, I have. Becky, have you forgotten? I went with you.
Okay. Are you voting though?
That I'm not sure of. I'm still, maybe you can convince me. You have a party coming up?
No, but Stoneboy is urging everyone to go out there and register and also vote.
That you can go. Make sure you do your what? Your voters ID what? Voters ID card. And then make sure to election time you what? Vote! Because to vote is your what? Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's good civic education there.
Yeah, but really, when we went to register, we didn't have any crowd like that.
But it was quiet.
Yes.
But the reason why I chose that center,
because
there aren't many people there.
But this evening, let's celebrate VIP or VVIP for their contribution to the Ghana entertainment industry and the music industry, and also, you know, they are the group or the musical group that celebrate, Muslims a lot.
And they project the Zongos a lot.
Yeah. So
usually around this time there'll be
Salah Fest, but it's because of
due to
COVID.
COVID-19, yeah.
But we throw the spotlight on Vivian. That'll be all for Showbiz.
Thank you very much, Hajia Bintu, Becky.
Happy Eid celebrations, everybody.
Yes, and that'll be all for Showbiz. Well, that'll be all for the bulletin. Many thanks for your company. You find more stories when you log on to myjournline.com. My name is Ernest Mino. Happy Eid to all our Muslim brothers.